back to my channel, Beauty at 50. Today we're going to go over a couple of different looks for prom, graduation, and of course 8th grade prom. All of these events are coming up and I know there's girls looking for quick ideas. The ideas and things I'm going to give you today are all drugstore brands, so hopefully it can save you a little bit of money. I would also do your research, do a pre-makeover the day before. Don't only leave it to the day of the event. So that is one of my tips that I would definitely suggest that you do, is try it before the time and see what you have. Don't leave it to the last minute. So what I've done so far right now is I have my brows done, and I have a very little light coat of concealer and a little bit of my foundation as well. So this one over here is what I used, my Milani, which for me suits my skin. I would also be aware of those girls that have a lot of oil. Make sure that you get an oil absorbing primer, because that will help your foundation and your makeup stay where it needs to be. The other thing, of course, is your beauty blender. And now this, you're actually going to do your foundation, your primer. You're actually going to spend a lot of time on it because you want to actually set everything in place. I'm going to put my handy dandy little hair thing on here so that we can see what's going on here, of course, so that we look beautiful. Make sure you give yourself enough time when you are preparing your makeup, that you have enough time to do all the steps properly. So a couple of the ones that I really like that I've used, these of course are all your drugstore brands. My Maybelline Superstay is probably one of my favorite ones, which is right here. It also is really good on oily skin. So this would be a good option for anyone for prom to start off with. Obviously your primer, like I said, whatever primer you're going to use. So your primer first, a little bit of your concealer, and of course your foundation. I also really like this one, the Stay Matte. This would also be good for someone who has oilier skin as well. And then of course my number 7, Lift and Luminate, but that's for an older person's skin or a dry skin. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just put a little bit of this foundation on my hand. And like I say, I've already wet my sponge. And you can get any of these sponges. This one actually is a Jeffree Star sponge, which Heather gave me, but you can actually get the Real Techniques. I've used those and those work really well. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and put a little more foundation on in those areas that I feel like I need. And then you are going to blend. Now, like I say, this part is very important, especially if you have a lot of oil. You want to be very sure that you are getting everything into the skin and the corners of the nose, underneath. You'll have to excuse my coloring. There's a little bit of a discoloration there because I spray tan today, so that's why it looks kind of different to my normal color. So you're going to make sure, like I say, spend some time on this, doing your makeup, and especially for an event, you need it to be done with enough time. Okay. So once you feel like you've got everything in and you want to see a smooth texture, you don't want your skin still to be shiny. On the lips. Okay. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take a tissue. Now, I needed to let it dry just a little bit more. You can see there's a little bit of a shine there. but I need it to dry just a little bit more. And what you're going to do, I learned this from one of the beauty YouTube bloggers. Take a tissue and you're actually going to take your sponge and you're going to wrap it up in there. And what you're going to do is you're going to press into your face. You shouldn't see very much coming off. It should just be kind of drying it. Now, because we're doing the video, I've kind of maybe not given it as much time as what I've needed to, because you can see there's a little bit coming off there. But this gets your makeup set. And I will really tell you, I've been trying this for the last few days and it has really helped my skin. And because I have dryness, and I noticed during the day this area here becomes dry. Okay, so when you feel your skin, it should be dry, but it shouldn't be cakey. It shouldn't sit cakey on your skin. Then you know you've got the right amount of consistency on your face. But you can see I do have, recently I've got a lot of redness right through here, and you can actually see that that's covered that really well. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do our eyes, because that's going to take the most time, I think, out of all of the things, is the eye makeup. And of course, I'm going to do my regular Stay Perfect, which is the eyeshadow primer. I'm going to just put that on the lid. Whoops. I like to go underneath as well as on top. Same on this side. This as well, which I really like. It's the concealer. I have a little more redness, not redness, brown, grey and darkness in my eyes. And also because if we're going to go ahead and do more eye shadow, we want it to stand out. We do want to make sure that we get that in there. And we can go ahead and take our beauty blender and go back in there. Underneath and on top. Whatever's left on there. So you will see now my eye, I would say, has a fairly good coat on there. Now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of that loose powder again and just set my lids. And I've got one of these small little sponges that I use just for my eyes. So there we go. Eye primer powder is now done for the eyes. So the next thing we're going to do is I picked up a couple of different shadows that I wanted to try. This one actually was the Wet n Wild, which I pretty much liked. I thought the colors were pretty interesting to try. So I thought I would probably do the browns in there and see how I like those. A more bigger, fluffier brush. This is one of the Wet n Wilds that I really like. And I'm just going to go ahead and tap that in. I see I'm getting a little bit of fallout from that. So we can now see how clear and how smooth our lids look. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use our bullet brush. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to do a little bit of a cut crease. So a cut crease is going to have the darker on the top, and then a little bit of a light and a little bit of shimmery on there. So I'm going to go just a little bit above, and then like a V here to this corner. We want to kind of go in line with where the brow ends. Okay, we're going to take our blending brush, which is our Essence blending brush, and we're just going to blend it out a little bit. And a little bit more. I'm putting a little bit of darker in there because I feel like the camera's not picking up the way it should. Okay, so I'm back. You can see that I haven't blended it, but I wanted to leave it to show you what I do because it's kind of in the right placement, but it isn't blended. The key with any eyeshadow is to take time with the blending. You can put it in the right position, but the finished look will look so much better when you make sure everything is blended out properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a blending brush, a clean brush. It cannot have any eyeshadow or anything on it, and we're just going to blend through here and underneath again, underneath there, because you can see the line and you don't want to see that line. So what you're going to do, I usually just pull my eye and blend it through. I usually have a tissue or something that I can wipe it. There we go, it's looking a lot better already. We're also going to do the cut crease over here and make something shiny on the top. So we're going to go ahead and smooth that one out as well, underneath, wiping as we go along. You can actually see it better now that I've pulled my lid. I actually like to pull my lid and then go down. I'm also going to just do it a little bit in the corner. And pull it down. Also just do a little bit of the under eye too. Now for the younger girls, of course, you can really get in there and you can wing it out, bring it all the way out. You want to make sure that it's not down, that it's up, so that you're not pulling your eye down. I'm going to go ahead and do the cut crease next, and then we're going to do some mascara, and then I will show you the end piece of that. Okay, so what we're going to need for our cut crease is a brush that has a rounded but more flexible bristle. The size, it's a Precision Beauty brush, but it's used for smudging. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to make our cut crease. And where this is going to go is I'm just doing it in the very center and dragging it down. And I'm not going to do it over my whole eye. I'm going to just do it in the center of the eye. I like to take my finger and just kind of smudge it out. Other eye. Starting in the center. And dragging it down. Using your finger to smudge it. I don't know if you can see it. I think you can. Make sure that that line is a little more defined. You can go in and put a darker shadow in there and get that more defined as well. This is just a very basic cut crease. It's not going into a huge amount of detail. I'm going to go ahead and take one of those colors that I used and just make sure that it's blended through there. And then just blending it out again. I'm going to take a lighter shade for the top. And then just a little bit of white in the corner. Now we're going to do a little bit of glitter. I'm not going to go to town with this just because I don't like too much of it. But you can put as much or as little as you want. Of course, for the younger girls, you can go to town with that. You're going to then take your brush and just kind of smooth it out. And I'm going to go over again on my liner. I'm going to finish my liner and do the concealer as well. So you can see a good amount of that there on my eye now. I did go ahead and also put some of the Sleek, this shade over here, right on the top, just to give it some contrast. You can also just put a little bit, just to brighten that as well. And just a little bit in the corner. There, there, and there. So you can actually see now, that's almost done now. The only thing I would then now do is do lashes, either false lashes or do my regular mascara, which is what I'm going to do. I'm also going to show you, I've also got this NYX, which I picked up. So I would then do contouring, a bit of highlight, and a little lipstick. And I will then show you what's left to do. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my contour. I actually bought a contour brush so that I can go ahead and contour that out. And where you're going to start, you want to start kind of at the top of your ear. A little bit on the top of your head. We're going to take some of our bronze Master Chrome and we're going to put a little bit on our cheeks. I'm going to go ahead and put some lipstick on now, and then I will show you the end product. And there we go, face look is done. Lipstick is on, my lipstick is NYX. All the products that I have used I will list below. There was only one product that I didn't use that I couldn't find for a glitter eyeshadow that I used was a Stilla, but otherwise everything else is all drugstore brands. So I hope you liked my tutorial. Please like below, and if you have any comments, please share with me below. I thank you for watching as always, and have a good day.